Hi, Burkan. It's very nice to see you here in TLC2 workshop. I know we met about 15 years ago.
Yes.
It's very nice to have you here. And in the morning, you were talking that carbonation is the topic which you worked on. And today in concrete or reinforced concrete topics, we talk a lot about carbonation, especially carbonation-induced corrosion.
Yes.
And this for you, maybe like you already knew the problem way back, but there was not enough people to listen to.
Yes, yes.
So maybe if you can talk about your
Yes.
that
First,
work.
I appreciate your invitation. It was great to be here. It was such a pleasure to come to IIT Madras, and I really enjoyed my time here and collaborating with different people like yourself and students. It was an amazing pleasure. Now, when I was doing my PhD decades ago, I actually worked on carbonation. And at that time in Canada, when I was doing my PhD, people were asking me, why do you care about carbonation? Because we don't have a carbonation problem in Canada. We have a chloride salt problem because, I mean, in Canada, we have a lot of corrosion, but it's mainly because of salts. And when I was talking about carbonation, people would come, well, carbonation is not an issue, and you're wasting your time, etc. And there were other people all over the world at the time, not many, working on carbonation. So for a long time, there was this quiet period where not many people talked about carbonation. Now, in the past 5 years, maybe a decade, carbonation becomes a very big topic again because of this low carbon, low clinker materials that we are incorporating in concrete. Because as you know, the concrete sustainability issue with respect to its carbon footprint has become a big problem, and one of the ways to solve this is to reduce the cement content that we use in concrete and reduce the amount of clinker, the active phase in cement, so that that carbon footprint is reduced, because cement production is the main reason for this carbon dioxide emissions. Yeah. So, but the thing is that when you use less cement, less carbon dioxide, now you produce a concrete more vulnerable to carbonation. All of a sudden, while we were not worried about carbonation, carbonation became
chloride took over in the beginning, and now it's carbonation.
Become a very strong force to reconcile with.
So that's another thing which I wanted to ask you is, like, people now always say low carbon.
Yes.
When you have low clinker systems, we get low carbon. But there is also another thing when we start thinking about the corrosion aspect, and also when you start thinking about the long-term carbon footprint, not just the carbon footprint until the construction.
Absolutely. So
what's your take on how should we handle it? Is a low clinker system always a low carbon system?
That's a very good question that we are not talking about enough. So, as you know, corrosion, reinforcement corrosion is our biggest durability issue globally. It is like when we talk about durability of concrete or deterioration of reinforced concrete structures, if steel corrosion is here, the next deteriorative mechanisms is down below. So we have a huge reinforcement corrosion problem, and the reasons for that can be discussed. So we may talk about salt-induced corrosion, carbonate-induced corrosion, etc. But when we say low clinker or low cement, low carbon footprint concrete, we are fixing a very big issue that we need to talk about. I mean, we are solving an industrial problem that we need to reduce our carbon footprint. So we produce concrete with less carbon footprint. But that doesn't always mean that those concrete structures will not be vulnerable to deterioration issues. So corrosion is an interesting one because when you make concrete with low clinker, low carbon footprint materials, the chemistry of concrete does not always allow the system to be resistant to reinforced corrosion. There are a lot of technical details here that might be difficult to explain here, but we want a low clinker system construction that has a low clinker, low carbon footprint on the day of construction. But we want those systems last for a long time as well, because sometimes we miss that life cycle component of it. If you build a low carbon system, it doesn't last 10 years. If it doesn't last 20 years, you have to demolish, repair, you have to
essentially the carbon footprint will be more.
Yeah, exactly. You might actually end up on the balance in long term, a larger carbon footprint than you started with. So the goal should be, yes, we should produce low carbon systems, concrete structures, but we also have to have in mind that we should have those structures last longer.
So life cycle assessment is something very important to look at.
Exactly. We need to build those structures so that reinforcement corrosion is not an issue. Because as I told you before, not all these low carbon, low clinker systems translate into corrosion resistance. So that's a big challenge that we have.
So that's a big challenge, and also we find it very difficult to, like a students, or in other words, the number of people who are really working on electrochemical aspects of steel or any metallic reinforcement in concrete, it's very few.
Yes.
We tend to work a lot on the bulk concrete or bulk cementitious system, but the interface between steel, concrete, very limited work has been done. And I know we have been discussing about this, the challenge associated with, and how do we encourage people to work more on these aspects?
So to be frank, I'm very excited in terms of research opportunities, because this is a big challenge. And challenge is good for us. Yes. Challenge is good for scientists. Challenge is good for science to produce new science, new engineering, new technologies. So I consider this a difficulty, a challenge, but also an opportunity, because the reinforced concrete research in the past 60 years has matured quite a bit with respect to ordinary Portland cement concrete context. So if you look at the last 60 years, there are amazing researchers, amazing graduate students, amazing professors who did really strong work in many parts of the world, different parts of it. They collaborated, and they actually developed a very strong understanding of corrosion, its mitigation, all these aspects with respect to ordinary Portland cement concrete. Now with these low clinker binders, with these startups coming up with these unique low clinker binders, alternative supplementary cementitious materials, etc., with varying compositions and reactivities, etc. Now we have a challenge, because we don't fully understand how these systems
we think we know, we think
no, we don't. Yeah, exactly. And it is very, very interesting to be a researcher in this area. Yeah. And as you said, there are not many of them, and we need more people getting into this area. And it is a challenging area in terms of science as well. You have to combine cement and concrete science with electrochemistry, with corrosion science. If you're doing modeling, you have to bring in modeling components. So it is a challenge.
And then you have to validate, for which you need long-term experimental results. So it's, I think we have a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
And maybe we will also collaborate more on this topic, and I'm really looking forward to work with you also in the long term to solve at least some of the corrosion related issues which we have. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank